What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 199. And we start today's episode off with some player training. We might be on the verge of 200 episodes, but of course we're starting today's episode off with some player training. And a look at our fixtures for the month of March, which we're just about to begin. And what a month we've got on the back of our EFL Cup win against Manchester United. Crystal Palace away at Selhurst Park in the 5th round of the FA Cup. Liverpool away at Anfield. We've got the Europa League round of 16 tie against Spurs, the first leg being away and the second leg at home. And then Chelsea and Arsenal right now looking to take us down in the race for 4th place with 11 games to go in the Premier League. What a month of March we are about to enter. Probably one of the most dramatic months of this series, I would say, with some really crucial games as we approach a crucial stage of the season. And look at the Europa League tie again. The first leg will be away against Spurs, and you'll see the Crystal Palace tie as well on the back of our EFL Cup win against Manchester United. I do want to say as well, before the first game of today's episode away at Selhurst Park, thank you so much for all the support on the series so far, because I know we are about to hit 200 episodes. The special thank you episode will be coming out tomorrow. I really hope you guys enjoy it. It should be super fun. As always, it's really long and packed with some great treats, but 200 episodes, man. I mean, you know, it's been such a long time since I've done a career mode save with over 100 episodes. Just think of how many that is. 200 episodes. It's just extraordinary, and obviously I could never have done this amount without your support, so thank you so much for all the lovely comments, the lovely supportive messages, all the likes, all the views, just honestly, just in general, thank you so much for making this career mode one of my best ever and one of my longest ever as well. Thank you sincerely, and I really hope episode 200 is a great thank you special for you guys and you really enjoy it. So heading into the first of 3 games today then in the episode 199, not a special but a good one regardless here. First game coming against Crystal Palace in the FA Cup 5th rounds. We go for a pretty bizarre treble, the FA Cup, the Europa League and the EFL Cup as well. Now we've won the latter and I'd love to win the other two, but heading into this game, as it was sandwiched in between the EFL Cup win at Wembley and also the Premier League trip to Anfield as well, who right now are top of the table, I did decide to field a totally rotated lineup, and we were 2-0 down 42 minutes in, and Crystal Palace were just cruising. No Koulibaly, no problem for Roy Hodgson's sides, and both goals came from crosses. The first goal was pretty poor goalkeeping, but for this goal here, my goodness, you know, I've said in recent episodes, since the patch and ultimate difficulties got increased to a ridiculous amount, we see some extraordinary goals get scored. Even crosses and headers can look incredible on this new patch here. What a goal! And Crystal Palace lead by 2 heading into the break. But the frustrating thing about this game is that Crystal Palace had a game plan and I was powerless to resist it. Now in the last episode you saw me reset the sliders to 50. For all 3 games today the sliders are set at a natural 50, and I literally could not stop this. Every single time Crystal Palace got the ball, they kept on going down the wing, and I simply couldn't stop the crosses, and I couldn't defend the balls once they got into the middle. Every single time they were in possession around the edge of our area, they kept on popping it out wide, as Oliveira crosses this ball in here, and Rodriguez makes it 5 after a brilliantly whipped cross across the ground there, an old school triple tap cross if you will. Crystal Palace make it 5-0 with 12 minutes to go, and every single goal had been scored with a cross. Now you can point the fingers at the back line, the poor fullback positioning, and the AI centre backs for me not marking up correctly, but just in general, I wasn't annoyed at any of my players in the back line there and my own AI's marking. I was just sitting there thinking, yeah, this game is definitely broken when you play it with natural sliders. So, you know, if anyone hasn't played the patch yet, with the AI Ultimate Difficulty, when the patch came in back in, was it January, I think it was, and they increased Ultimate Difficulty to a ridiculous amount, then hopefully that game right there shows you how absurd it is when you play on 50 sliders naturally, because it is literally just ridiculous. I mean, all 5 goals came from crosses, and again, you would have seen there on a couple of occasions they had a chance to attack through the middle, but they didn't want to do that because they knew that a guaranteed way to score was by popping it down the wing and crossing it in. Every single goal felt like it was impossible to defend. But regardless, 5-0 was the final score. Crystal Palace march on to the quarterfinals. We are out after one of my heaviest defeats of this series. And unfortunately, as we were going in pursuit of that bizarre treble, one of them has now gone. The FA Cup is gone. But to be fair, I wasn't really that fussed about it. I fielded a weakened lineup for the game because we had the Premier League trip to Anfield here, away from home, just 3 or possibly 4 days later, as we would take on the league leaders in our pursuit for the top 4. And that is more important to me. Winning the EFL Cup means we've already won our first domestic honour with the Blades this season. Yes, of course, the FA Cup is more important than the EFL Cup. It counts towards the board objectives, whereas the EFL Cup doesn't. But to be honest, I just wanted domestic honour. We've won that now, and that's why going out the FA Cup, I wasn't really bothered. The manner of the defeat frustrated me, don't get me wrong, but going out wasn't that much of a problem for me. So heading into this game here against Liverpool, I wanted a much better showing. I did keep the sliders on 50 as well. I didn't touch them. And heading to the game, Liverpool had started off better. Sam Hill made 3 superb saves in the first half as it was still 0-0. And right before the break, we would pounce and score totally against a run of play. A classic Sheffield United counter-attack that you saw in the 4 seasons we were here at Bramall Lane. We love to play with pace on the break, and this was glorious. We stormed down left with Harris, rolls it into Reece James, and talk about the awareness here of the former Chelsea man. He's not going to shoot on his weaker left foot when he knows that Tony is to his right. He dinks the ball over the covering defender, and Ivan, as an elite goal scorer, but even I could have scored that one, just nods it in from close range, wraps up a lovely little breakaway move, and the Blades make it 1-0 right before half-time. And in the second half, another great quick counter-attack. Wilson down the left-hand side draws 2 red shirts with him, rolls it across, and there's Harris to make it 2. And 7 minutes after the restart, bang, bang, 2 goals for the Blades, 1 either side of the break, as we double our lead after a lovely run by Nicholas Wilson. What a signing he's been since we bought him from Hoffenheim in January. I told you it was going to be a bargain, and it certainly is looking like that way. And Elliot Harris, fantastic finish, makes it 2. And I on the sidelines know I have got a superb dream strike duo for the time we'll be spending here with Sheffield United. Ivan Toney and his young protege Elliot Harris. We've been looking for Tony's successor whilst we've been away from Bramall Lane. With Roma, we thought it was going to be Antonio Barai. With Atletico Madrid, we thought it could be João Felix. Excuse me. And with Roma, with Leverkusen even, my apologies, with Leverkusen, we thought it was going to be Steve Zabala, the little Uruguayan. Well, it turns out that it could well be Elliot Harris. We've been looking for the successor for the shocker when he eventually hangs up his boots. Maybe we've found one here in Neil's nephew. Chopper Harris makes it 2-0. That is how the game finishes. A massive win away against the league leaders Anfield. As we say to Chelsea, we say to Arsenal, we say to Spurs, and we say to Watford, lads, you are not overtaking us. That 4th place is going to be ours between now and the end of the season. I am not having another season of Europa League football. I want to be back in the Champions League with Sheffield United. We're yet to manage them in the Champions League because, of course, we left after we got them there at the end of Season 4 after winning this competition, the Europa League. Well, right now we're here to stay at Bramall Lane, and I want to be playing Champions League football with this team next season. We're good enough for it. We can't let it slip. So for our 3rd and final game of today's episode here, it was going to be the first leg of the Europa League round of 16 clash away in North London against Tottenham Hotspur. And what a start to the game as well. Ivan Toney given a breather tonight on Thursday night, so Guabels would start in his place. And 11 minutes in, what do I always say when you play away from home in the European ties in the first leg? Go for those away goals. Don't look to escape with a clean sheet, because away goals count double. Go for those goals, and we had one early. Guabels makes it 1-0. The Blaze take the lead, but my goodness gracious me, 11 minutes to go in the first half. I got to tip my hat to the AI for this one. Like I said, they scored some wonderful goals on this patch, and here is another one. Ball chipped over the top here to Hugo. Takes the first touch. Sam Hill comes out of his goal to close him down here and try and put him off. But this is just absolutely fantastic. One touch, swivels, gets it out of his feet, and dinks it over the goalkeeper, who strays way off his line. Fantastic finish there, unfazed by the pressure, as Spurs find themselves the leveller there for Hugo Duro, who almost bagged his brace right before the break, but Hill made a fantastic save there to keep it at 1-1. So great action-packed first half, and the second half started off that way as well. Once again, it was our number 43 making a brilliant save there from a corner, as it was still 1-1, and it seemed like someone was going to win win this game here, as both teams were going all out for the winning goal. 65 minutes in, Leto storms down the left and dinks it to the middle, picks out Ross McCrory, but sadly it falls to the wrong man. Great first touch on the chest, but he's not over his goals. Simple save for the keeper there, as it was still 1-1. But with 17 minutes to go, great chance to give us the winner. Reece James sent down the right hand side, takes it around Icone, who we sold from Leverkusen, plays it across. Cuisante's arriving, but just can't get the shot goal bound as he puts it wide of the far post. Spurs the chance, and that is the game. Final score, Spurs 1, Sheffield United 1. Fantastic first leg here away in North London in an all-English European round of 16 tie, but a share of the goals sees the game finish 1-1, and that means heading back to Bramall Lane, keep a clean sheet in 7 days time, and we'll be through to the quarterfinals, but that's easier said than done against Tottenham Hotspur. But that was today's episode of Career Mode, guys, so a big thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy today's episode, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all, have a fantastic day, and do not miss the special episode number 200. It'll be coming out tomorrow afternoon. It's a thank you special from me to you for all the support. I really hope you guys enjoy it. It should be great, and I'll see you for it tomorrow afternoon. Much love, guys. Love you loads.